Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Hawashai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And this is a video that was a response by our beloved elder, Apostle Tahar. And this was a video response to Vocab Malone. You know, it says, you see the title, it says Celebrities Embracing Hebrew Israelism, which is just yet another made-up term that, you know, well, that's what Esau Edom does. They categorize and put labels on things, and then, you know, because of the credentials that they've given themselves, which is not of God, which is not of the Most High, they deem it to be so. So whatever they say, you know, that's they label you a Mexican, they label you a Middle Easterner, you know, even though those labels are not in the Bible, are not recognized or acknowledged by the Most High Power, which made and created all things. But if that's the category that they have put you in, then that's what you are according to them. Now, I'm going to actually let, you know, the Apostles video play some of it, and I'm just going to, you know, every now and then jump in and just skillfully add to a couple points that he said, and just to let the listening audience know that I've made a couple videos on the Maccabean Spirit channel, which were directed directly at Vocab Malone. As a matter of fact, two. One was directed at he and his predecessor, his teacher, his you know, his elder, which was Dr. James White, the Edomite. I believe the first video was directed straight at them, and it was two videos, and the two videos were scholarly scriptural questions that were asked in all sincerity, and there was never ever any response. He responded to everything else, but those questions that I asked him, he never responded ever. And I'm pretty sure that these videos came after his visit to Chicago, when he and I pretty much just had a shouting match, because talking to him is like talking to a brick wall. He does not acknowledge the evidence that is before him, you know. And those videos, the questions that were asked were kind of like that, as the Apostle's going to touch on in his video. All right. Esau ignores the evidence that proves your point as if it's just not there, you know, even though when they're completely guilty. And it's kind of like, and I'm going to stop rattling and get to this, but, you know, it was beyond evident that the men at the Emmett Till that were accused of the crime of Emmett Till were guilty. But yet all the Edomites the Edomite jury found them innocent, even though the evidence was overwhelming that they were guilty of the crime. And to make matters worse, they bragged about the crime after they walked out of the courtroom. And to add insult to injury, the woman who accused the boy of the crime, or the young man, because he was a man, he was very young, admitted that she lied about it. That's what we're dealing with. So without any further ado, I'm going to play the Apostles video. Then I'm going to jump in and ask some of the same questions, but with even more condemning evidence to back them up. So let's do this.
All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kakwadash. And I guess I will entitle this a response to celebrities embracing Hebrew Israelism. And this was put up by Vocab Malone on his YouTube page, entitled, as I said, the response, Celebrities Embracing Hebrew Israelism. and it's almost 2 hours long. And he, in the beginning, he has a clip from the drink champs, and he had they had as a guest Floyd Mayweather, and he basically came out and said that we are the Jews. I mean, you can go back and watch it to hear the exact way he put it. What you see here is this is almost at the end. This is like about an hour and 20, almost 30 minutes in, to be exact, an hour and 26 minutes and 14 seconds. You see Tiffany Haddish, and you see Carmen, and they ran into the brother from True Nation, and there was a dialogue, between these people that you see on the screen here. And then he also showed a clip from Carmelo Anthony, and who else? There was a bunch of them, kind of jumped around. And he pretty much said that there was the one guy that was talking, having a dialogue with Carmelo Anthony. He basically said that we're the Israelites, and he said you got to keep the laws. There's 106 laws. And then he jumped around and he kind of mentioned, I want to get back to Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish, there's another clip of her on the Breakfast Club, and she says, how does she put it? The Jews, the original Jews, looked like us, like black people. I mean, you can go back and actually listen to it to see how she put it exactly in her exact words. So what Vocab did was come back and kind of, comment on what they were saying, and he basically said that, in a nutshell, he said that these people, you can see that they kind of follow the one Westers, but then they say that they're Jews, and then the guy said 106, that was on Carmelo Anthony's page, he said there was 106 laws, and this is about being saved by the Lord. So, there goes, your friendly neighborhood devil Vocab Malone, trying to, cast doubt on the whole Israelite thing. And the truth is...
Let's pause it right there. I have on the shelf behind me as a matter of fact, let me just grab it, Salakia. Let me just grab it. One of my favorite books, which my regular viewers are very well aware of. This is the Winston Simplified Dictionary Encyclopedia Edition, and I'm going to look up the word devil, because I came across it this morning when I was looking up another word, desist, because that word is going to be used. So like Sesame Street, look for the word desist, all right, in the episode. But as I was looking up that word, I came across the word devil because they were very close to one another. All right, so let's find it, because he called him your friendly neighborhood apostle. But devil, and it says it's from the Latin diablos. And the first word that it says is the evil spirit, Satan. No, before it even says evil spirit, diablos, a slanderer. See? And see, it says the evil spirit, and you can't back that up with scripture. See, Satan is not evil. So you're going to have comments on the comment board because I said that Satan is actually righteous. He does the left-hand side work. All right. If you for lack of a better term, his evil is ordered of Yahweh from the Most High. Okay, because there's a scripture that says that he sent evil spirits, unto them, or evil angels. But these evil angels are righteous because they do eat, because the Lord is balanced. It says the Lord says he creates the good and the evil, roughly paraphrased, the light and the darkness. Okay, but the first word, and as a matter of fact, I'll just put it in frame, and let's let you see the evidence for yourself. See, the very first part of the definition is slanderer or wicked person. I highlighted those two because those are what stand out. So that is Vocab Malone, your friendly neighborhood devil. All right.
He's getting nervous, and the elite behind him is getting nervous because now the celebrities are actually waking up to the whole Hebrew Israelite thing.
And see, so, what's another thing I have to jump in right there is that Hollywood is dead and the celebrity thing is pretty much done. So truth be said, Common and Tiffany, and a lot of people like them, all right, a lot of them have known this for years before they start speaking about it. All right, they've been watching the Hebrew Israelites for years now. All right, we've been on the internet. I woke up in 2006. I found the Apostles in 2007. I joined the camp late 2007, 2008, and whatever it is, we've been on the internet, for quite some time now. So they've known this. Now, but see, they didn't. But going back, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, although we could see the prophecies coming into play and everything that's going on today being set up, they couldn't. But now everything's happening so evident at the things that we said. Now all of a sudden they want to speak up, and the reason being is because Common, both industries that he shines in, which is I'm a fan of Common. All right, I had a couple buddies that actually went to school with this guy, that know this guy personally. He's from my era and from around the way. So I'm a fan of his music, and he turned out to be an excellent actor, very talented. Tiffany Haddish, wicked as all hell, but she's a very attractive and very funny. All right, so but they've known this. Now the question is, what you gonna do, Common? You gonna stop putting that razor to your head? Tiffany, you gonna stop? You gonna get off the cock carousel and just get with one man? What you gonna do?
What he does is, when you get celebrities involved, that's, you had the one with Ice Cube, where he said we are the chosen people, something to that effect, and he started showing icons of Israelites during the Middle Ages, and the Middle Ages represent when Jake ruled. Esau wasn't in power at that time, or the medieval times.
That's right.
And he simply made the statement, we are the chosen people, and you had certain Jewish organizations call him out on that and said he was anti-Semitic. Now, first of all, saying that you know that you're an Israelite doesn't make you anti-Semitic. It means that you woke up to the truth, or that you believe that this is the truth. Whether you remain with this truth, or something else comes along and you go to that, that's a whole other thing. But why would they call him, and then they cut him from certain media platforms because under the ground that he was anti-Semitic? He never said anything negative about the so-called Jews.
And see, that's what they do in America. Edward Snowden, Julian Assange, and that Chelsea Manning thing, all they did was point out the murders and the unjust kills of the U.S. military and Blackwater over in the so-called Middle East. They didn't give up any names. They didn't put any particular person in danger, give out names and addresses, birth dates, and all that. They pointed out crimes, but yet these same organizations that we just spoke of and other government agencies deemed them criminals. To where Edward Snowden is an Edomite that was born here in America, but he's forced to live in Russia, in another place, and probably can never come to America again. He can't come home. As a matter of fact, he probably speaks a little Russian by now. So his family, his friends, all because he's told the truth. Telling the truth in America is a very bad thing. These Edomites are anti-truth. And they're the true anti-Shemitic people. All right? Because they speak, those imposters who are claiming the heritage of Jacob. They are Shemitic. But there are other Shemitic races. And often they'll call someone an anti-Shemitic who actually is Shemitic. All right? So you can't be anti what you are. It's like when a gay guy will tell you he has the right to talk about homosexuals or call other homosexuals fags. When you're not one of those and you say it, then it's a problem. But a homosexual can make all the homosexual jokes that he wants because he is one. You can't be anti what you are.
In the land of Israel, I don't think he said anything about them. They call him anti-Semitic based on the fact that he said we are the chosen people. He didn't say we're Israelites. He said we are the chosen people. So he believes that he's an Israelite, whether we're right or wrong, and we're correct. But let's say we just hopped on this new trend about being an Israelite. Does that mean we're going to go burn in hell? And if that's the case, where's that in the scriptures? Where's that in the scriptures?
And see, Vocab doesn't answer scriptural questions. He does not. If it's something he can't sensationalize or go on to a carnal point about something, he won't touch it. If you ask him a legitimate scriptural question that compromises Christianity, Calvinism, Judaism, he will not answer. He would talk around the subject matter, turn flips and circles, go the other way around the earth to avoid answering questions that are legitimate, scholarly, scriptural questions.
You're not an Israelite and you say that you're an Israelite, or if you're not a Jew and you say that you're a Jew, that you're going to go to hell. Doesn't say that in the scriptures. So at the end of the day, if we're wrong, then we would say, oh, we were wrong. Them so-called white and pasty Edomites over there in the land of Israel are the real people. And we got to bow down to them because they're Jake, and we must be Edomites, even though we're different shades of brown, which doesn't make sense. See, you can either listen to what we say on video, you can either accept it with overwhelming evidence. It's just like a murder trial. When you got the guy on camera, when you got the guy saying that he's going to kill this person, and he names name, when you hear the screams of the murder taking place, and you hear his voice, there's cuts on him with the DNA of the person that he murdered. That's overwhelming evidence for the jury to say that's him, because all the evidence. Then you have direct evidence and you have circumstantial evidence. There's a camera of him walking away from the house where the murder took place at the time of the murder. All that mounts up. All that is evidence. So the same thing with this truth. When you read these scriptures and you do what's called a process of elimination, it has to be us. Now he mentioned something I forget what he said. He said something about Aria. He kept mentioning Aria. What did he say? He said something. I mean, but you got to watch the video. But anyway, I think the person that was on Carmelo Anthony's site, I think he pulled up the scripture dealing with how we lost our heritage. So Vocab came back and said, well, that's talking about the land, that's talking about this, that's talking about that, but it's not talking about we forgot who we were.
All right, we're gonna stop it right there because because Vocab is a complete and total liar. All right, the truth was not found by John Smith. It wasn't just found by I think John Smith was the liar who formed the the Mormon Bible. It wasn't founded by the Jehovah Witnesses. The truth was not brought into the world through Catholicism, nor through Calvinism. The truth had to come back in the world through men, and it came back through the men of One West. All right, it had to come back into the world through men. All right, the Lord said He uses the mouth of His prophets. It had to come back into the world through physical men, and those men are the men of One West. The lies of Christianity has been dismounted in court, and court has been held with the Bible. This is Jeremiah 17:4, which he tried to lie and condemn. All right, and it reads, "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee," the I being Yahweh. All right. "And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." Now, there's definitely going to be a part 2 to this video, because one of the questions that I asked Vocab Malone and Dr. James White the Edomite was, where were the relics in the time when the Israeli Jewish people that in the land of Israel were serving their enemies in the land of their captivities? Where are the time and places and the relics of when that happened, where it took place? All right. When were they scattered to the four corners of the earth? Where are the relics and the proof of their evidence? You know, not just Eastern Europe. They got where are the Israelis that are coming back from Africa, coming back from China, coming back from the Americas? Where are they? All right. So now let's go and let's read the definition of discontinue, because I looked it up. All right. In the Strong's concordance, and it reads, discontinue, and it's number 850. That's the number. Every word in the Bible is numbered, and the Hebrew word is shamat. All right, and it reads, it says a prime root to fling down. All right, to fling down, inseparably to jostle. All right, so inseparably means to begin. So begin to jostle. Jostle means to push, move, elbow out of the way. Then figuratively, to let alone, desist. There's that word desist, and that means discontinue. Or it says desist, discontinue, overthrow, release, to let loose, shake, stumble, to throw down. Now, when you go down to desist, I looked it up in the Winston Simplified Dictionary Encyclopedic Edition, 1931, and it's from the Latin, and it means to from action, to stop, to put, to cease, to leave off, discontinue, quit, abstain. So the Israelites were cut off, stopped knowing that they were Israelites for generation after generation, which makes them match up to the prophecies in Ezekiel 37. You know, I'm just going to say, see you in part 2. Call halal Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Wa Abba Babal, Shalom.